Silver's on the scene. It is Sunday, April 27th, just a few minutes before 8 p.m. Sunday evening. I hope everyone's weekend was great. And most importantly, I hope you're looking forward to tomorrow, Monday, April 28th, and the week ahead. Listen, if for some reason you're not looking forward to tomorrow, work, or whatever it may be, think about making a change. I've been there. And not having a great weekend is fantastic. And then Sunday evening, as it winds down, not looking forward to Monday ahead, it's not good. So make a change if that's the case. Silver's 2 and I are fortunate, and we are looking forward to the week ahead. Work we've been doing, but it's very rewarding. I always feel like hard work is always rewarding in itself, but when you get joy in it, that makes it even better, right? So that's going great. Sebastian Rogers, in our hearts, in our minds, we're keeping up as much as we can, and we wish we had more time to jump in, solve this case, but most importantly, find him. So keep his awareness alive, find him, and get justice. He's always in our hearts and minds. Missing teen Sebastian Rogers. Have you seen me? $447,000 reward. What do we know? That we can say his name. If Silvers won, myself, Michael Silvers, can do only one thing in this video on a Sunday night, April 27th, a few minutes before 8 p.m., and that is I can say his name, and that is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, who's been gone 425 days. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a moment I could do this video to spread Sebastian's awareness, to let you know what's coming up next for Silver's on the Scene. And then it blew my mind to see it's been 1 year and 2 months to the day. 1 year and 2 months ago to the day, this evening, Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. 1 year and 2 months ago. 425 days. Let there be no distraction in finding Sebastian. There's way too much out there. Put that stuff aside, and whatever you can do, do it. Print flyers, share them on social media. Say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Because the goal is simple, and for all of us, we want to bring him home. Before I jump into this, disclaimer on the wall, informational purposes only. We just read some facts. We know Sebastian's disappeared 1 year, 2 months ago tonight. February 26, 2024, reported missing from his home, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Is he still in his home? Oh, did I say that? Informational purposes only, not to be taken as fact. It is all my opinion. Silver's on the Scene. And thank you for your support. It means so much. So what did you click on? You clicked on this. There's Sebastian. There's the flyer. Keep the flyer out there if you need it. Email me at silversonthescene@yahoo.com, and I'll share it with you. Google it, and you'll get it yourself. Go to X, formerly known Twitter. Find it there as well. Sebastian Rogers, what's next? As you can see the background there, this is his home town of Hendersonville, Tennessee. So what is next? With my limited time, with my new role, thankfully, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed not only for the position I found, and how the work's rewarding, the income is amazing, how all that is great. I'm so blessed. That also brings me back to Sebastian going, his family not being blessed. Our daughter lost yesterday her beloved little doggie. 12 years old, has been with her since she was 18. The 5-year-old, the 2-year-old grandson, that's the only dog they knew. Been there long before they were. The husband, great son-in-law, only dog he knew. Little Gabby has now passed on. It's very sad. My grandbaby, fur baby, very sad. So, although we're blessed, we have that. That's sad, sad news, right? It happened yesterday. Yet we're not missing a grandson. We're not missing a son, a daughter. It doesn't compare when you talk about Sebastian Rogers and how his dad could be feeling 1 year, 2 months later, tonight, gone from his home. The place he's supposed to be, the safest. Did he ever leave that home? Is he still in that home? Allegedly, in my opinion. Right? We heard rumors, if you will. Allegedly, can't go into his room, America's Most Wanted Missing Persons. We'll do an interview, but you can't come in the house. What are people hiding? What are people hiding? So, as we just said, you clicked on what's next. And there's a map of his hometown. So let's jump into that. Here we go. You know, you see Sebastian's high school. You see Long Hollow Pike. You see New Hope Road. This is the X. Right in here is where everything happened. Sebastian's home in this area. The command center here with everyone looking for him. Drake's Creek running all the way through the town. You know that Silvers has been over here on Latimer Lane. The heaviest spot I've been in over 30 searches. The place that's felt the most, I fully believe he was there at one point. Okay? That he was there at one point. Was that him running from somebody? Was that him taking off on his own? Why was he there? I feel it strongly, but where is he now? So what's next? So here's what's next. I will be back. See, my job, just to describe my job, although it changed, where I traveled didn't. Which means I still come to Tennessee, Knoxville, Nashville, and I just found out recently, I think I said in the last video, even Memphis now. But I fully believe Sebastian's somewhere in this area, in the hometown, his hometown. And the question is where? Allegedly, in my opinion, was Sebastian placed somewhere to be found? That's always been something I've thought of. Was he placed somewhere to be found? Or was he placed somewhere to never be found? Right? Okay? But as you all know my theory, allegedly, Silver's opinion, disclaimer on the wall, that when he went in that home on the 25th, that evening, he was removed from that, keep his awareness alive and say his name. He was removed from his home 3 a.m. Okay, the car. Why does Chris Proudfoot get so angry when that car is brought up? Why has Chris Proudfoot gotten so angry at a guy, mob crew, another Chris, who does a phenomenal job, who's doing nothing but trying to help locate his stepson? Why so angry? Well, I believe this. In my opinion, every time those lights come up, every time anything that closes in on this is what happened. Just imagine this for a second. You're out in public and you do something, no matter where that is, and you think no one saw you. And then you start seeing that there's possible video. security footage from a home, security footage from a restaurant, a public building. And every time someone brings that up, you're so afraid that you're going to get caught. You're so afraid that, oh my, this is what's going to do it. This is going to expose me. Well, you have two options. Be quiet and pretend it didn't happen, or come out and start trying to change everyone's opinion on it. And as I said in the last video, look like a fool. Okay? So, what does that all mean when we, kind of get off on these little rants, if you will, which I don't like doing, but this boy here, say his name, Sebastian Rogers, 1 year and 2 months ago was done wrong. Much more wrong than he had ever been done up until that time. And there had been some wrongs, as we know, before then. First of all, you don't hurt people. You definitely don't hurt kids. In my opinion, he was hurt that night. So what is next? Had an email come in from someone who has been emailing me since the day I began searching for Sebastian, and she's great. I'm not going to reveal any names. And I have to tell you, I see the emails, and yes, I'll be the first to tell you, I just don't have the time. I know you have to find the time, and I'm finding the time now to bring this awareness for Sebastian, to keep his face and flyer out there so we can find him. And there's others that are doing so much better than me. Mob Crew, Bullhorn Betty, The Narrative, who else? Crime Time Buzz and the Ease, Justin, Clutch Them Pearls. These people are continuing doing it. And I know Bullhorn Betty had said one time about me, Silver's on the scene, that while she was sidelined, someone could keep running the ball. And back then when that was going on, I had so much time, or much more time than I have now. And I was running with that ball every day. Unfortunately, I'm just not able to do it. But now here, this video, bringing his awareness alive, right? Everybody post a 5-minute video. Bring his awareness alive. Stick his flyer up. Stick his photos up. And just let it sit there for 5 minutes. Because although I do not believe, unfortunately, my opinion, right, disclaimer on the wall, that Sebastian is with us anymore, he still may be. After 1 year and 2 months, and I would love to be the one to bump into him in a restaurant and get him home safe to his father. Those are still my hopes, and I'll be the first to yell out to everyone that I was wrong on my theory. But going to that theory, and what can I do? Because I will be back in the town. As I just said, I travel Tennessee still. Okay? I will be back. So, time is limited. What can I do when I'm there? And as I said, emails are coming in. And I'll do my best to get back to the emails, especially the ones like I'm about to mention. This email came in one day last week, and it was so, I guess, revigorating or re-energizing to me with Sebastian, because I know all these creators I just mentioned they're doing all they can to solve this case, to keep his awareness alive, to bring him home, saying his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. No matter what your theory, no matter what you post, no matter what video you do, if it's about Sebastian, then you're bringing awareness. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. So, I read this email and I go, oh wow. Manholes. Manholes. Now I know manholes have been searched all around his hometown and around his neighborhood and home. But ladies and gentlemen, when I read that, first of all, the email had the exact same theory that I believe. I mean, 98%, right? Some things could be changed. How was the accident happen? How did he get hurt? Carried out. Was he still with us when he was carried out? And some other things happened trying to remove him from the home, or was he no longer with us? But, allegedly, in the email's opinion as well as mine, disclaimer on the wall, But pretty much the same theory. And then it was like, wait a second, manholes. You know, I remember finding a manhole right at the corner here, right at the corner. If you zoom in here, right at the corner of this Long Hollow and New Hope, right here, right there, was a big manhole that led to Drake's Creek, run off to Drake's Creek. And it had two boards over it. If you watch my video then, I was with the car guys several months ago, probably back in October, November of 2024. And right there. And man, I got excited because thinking if Sebastian was running or trying to get away from someone, or just, hey, he did walk out on his own, that, could have unfortunately slipped. So I was nervous when I looked in it, even though it was, at the time, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months from him being gone. But you just never know. So the first thought is manholes. Well, I have a manhole here, there. Sure, they've been checked. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. Follow me here. That's why I throw this up here, right? Disclaimer on the wall. What if, after searching and after things calmed down, what if Sebastian was placed in a manhole that had been right in the middle of the search radius? Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can note that anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. For this case to be going on as long as it is, for him to be gone 1 year, 2 months. Sebastian, if you're listening, somehow you're hearing this video, call 911 and tell them who you are. People are looking for you. See, I say that and I hope that he's out there and I hope that he hears this. I just don't think he is. So, as a person, as you're trying to help, as you're trying to put your energy, limited time, we all have families, we all have obligations in our life. I wish I was retired and had tons of cash in the bank, right? I would spend every waking moment trying to find Sebastian. So my point is, I have limited time, so I'm going to go in the direction I feel the strongest about. And allegedly, in my opinion, that is that after a year and 2 months, and I believe after the first night, he's no longer with us. Okay? So, but that doesn't mean we don't keep looking, right? We do keep looking. So manholes. This person who emailed says, what about manholes? And it just kind of struck me going, wow. And I look at any manhole I come to, right? We've checked these. People have always talked about surrounded by concrete. Now, take a look at this. This is the Long Hollow Church. Okay, the Swan Course. This is a golf, frisbee golf. And June 20th, 2024, I pulled my car in here and I started walking. In my work shoes, didn't know what I was doing, just trying to see, hey, did somebody miss something? And while I was doing that, there's a lot of those little concrete, what do they call them? Calverts, just, tubes that water runs off. Some are for sewage, some are for just runoff, so the place doesn't flood. And every one I came to, I looked in. And I didn't even have a flashlight then, but it was daylight. So now I carry a flashlight, strong, powerful light. So I look into these. But from the first days, June 20th, that I did my first of 30 searches, I had this vision in my head of Sebastian on his own, left or ran away from somebody, and he needed to get out of the elements, right? He needed to get out of the weather, the conditions, and maybe it's cold. And so he crawls into one of these just for protection. So imagine you crawl in and you kind of, you sitting up, but you're balled over, just shivering a little bit as you're trying to stay warm. And I'm going to tell you, I had this vision. Day one, my first search. And when I'll go to look in this, you see on my video, go watch that video. When I go look into this drainage pipe, that's what I call it, drainage pipe. Each one I checked, I thought I was going to see him just sitting there. And I've had that vision since June. So I think when I read this email and manholes and surrounded by concrete, you remember I went out to Memphis at the Easy Days RV park and I screamed out his name in that manhole or that drainage pipe, if you will. So it's always been something on my mind, but I've kind of just, I've been going down Drake's Creek and checking the banks, and the car that was there, which that car was somewhere right in here, right? And then Latimer Lane, right? Latimer Lane, Sandy Valley Road, right here where I believe I found the bone. Right here where we found other bones when we went looking with the car guys. Somewhere in here, I believe something happened, right? It's 2.5 miles from his home. 2.7 here, 2.5 here. So, what does this mean? What's next, right? I'm working now to find out, and if anyone knows, please email me and let me know. I'm working now to find out, where do I start looking at these manholes? Because they're easy to check. Pop up the top, look in, shine a flashlight. Where does it run? See where it comes out, and you move on to the next, right? And I'm willing to knock out as many as I can. What I'd like to do is start here at the X, right? I'd like to start at the X. Because I've walked this many, many times. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. If I had to put a circle right here, something happened here. In my opinion, disclaimer on the wall, something happened here. So I don't know where the manholes are. I know we checked a lot. The car guys and I did too when we were walking. But anyway, so that's what's next. I don't want to keep rambling. Sebastian's home's over here, and a mile. I think one of the times, there's been so many times where you have this filling at Drake's Creek, right here at this beach market. If you go straight across, Sebastian's home, it's somewhere right in here. I don't know what that is. But anyway, straight across, it's a straight line. If Sebastian came out of his home and ran east, this is going east, out the back of his house, 1 mile to the 1.0 mile, he would end up at Drake's Creek and Warsham's Market, the storage building. There it is. I've walked this. There's a barn here, a couple of horses. Anyway, I feel strongly about this area all the way up to the Latimer, Sandy Valley. So, manholes. If anyone knows anything about them, please send me an email. That's what we're going to check. We're going to look at that. We're going to jump in there. And until another thing grabs focus for us, boots on the ground, out there, at this point it's manholes. So thank you. You know who you are with the email. I really appreciate it. When will we be there? It is the end of April, come Wednesday this week, last day of April. May 1st starts on Thursday. Probably looking a few weeks after that. So probably mid-May. But yeah, let's just say his name. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, gone 425 days, 1 year and 2 months. Today, early morning hours coming up, 26th of February, 1 year and 2 months ago. Don't be distracted. Let's keep everything out there in front of everyone. Okay? Let's keep his awareness alive so we can find him. It's real simple. Find him. And Sebastian, if you're listening, if my theory's wrong and you are out there somewhere and you see this name, you hear this name, Silver's on the scene, call 911. Say, they've been saying my name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I'm going to say my name. I am Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Someone help me. And listen, if you've got him and he is out there, as his dad Seth has said, take him somewhere, drop him off, call 911. Stop this. It's time for him to come home. And my last message is this. For those of you who I believe, in my opinion, have hurt him, I don't know if I've ever said this in a video, but I'm going to say it now. Because I think it every time I search. I think it every time I do a video such as this. I think it every time I think of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. 1 year, 2 months ago, 425 days ago, on the evening of the 25th of February, going into the early morning hours up to 3 a.m. on the 26th of February, when Silver's on the scene, was in Las Vegas, Nevada. About as far away as you can get. There for work. Yeah, I've looked it up because I want to know where I was. So here I am in Las Vegas, all the way over where Hendersonville is. I know of Nashville, did not know of Hendersonville. I want to make this point, okay? What you were doing that night, in my opinion, how you were wrong, doing wrong to this child. What you did not know is that several thousand miles away, the guy who is speaking now would become heavily involved in what you've done. And he will continue staying involved, spreading awareness for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and he will continue to search until someone else or he finds him. So, the point is this. When you think no one's watching, when you're about to do something wrong, you never know who's going to emerge from the darkness, from the shadows, from thousands of miles away, and find evidence to get justice for the person you did wrong. There's always someone out there. Silver's on the scene is here. And he won't stop until someone finds Sebastian or he finds Sebastian. Now, if you want to help him, Silver's on the scene at yahoo.com. Silver's on the scene at yahoo.com. Silver's on the scene at yahoo.com. If you don't want to help, because allegedly, in my opinion, you've done something wrong, then just be quiet and go away while we continue to find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. So keep his awareness alive so we can find him. We have to get justice for him. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Say his name. Let's bring him home. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your patience in my time of not being able to post a video every night or 2, 3, 4 times a week, but getting there when I can. And knowing, as you heard me tell Tara, my last search, not giving up. Never give up. Could get sidelined, could get delayed, but never distracted and never giving up on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Have a great evening. More importantly, have a great tomorrow, Monday. Make it magnificent. If it's not, I think it was maybe Steve Jobs. I'm not sure. But there was a very successful businessman. He would stand in front of the mirror every morning and he would say, if today was my last day and I knew it, would I still do what I'm about to do? Think about that. I hope your tomorrow is fantastic. Hope it's magnificent. Hope your week's great. Thank you for your support. Let's keep this child, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, awareness alive. Stay tuned. As always, Silver's on the scene. Much more to come. Have a great evening. Have a better week. Thank you.